Okay, right, Bismillah. Bismillah. Read the first hadith. Loud, come closer.
ترك شيئا يكون في مقامه ذلك لا قيام الساعة إلا حدث أخذه من حفظه فنسيه أو نسيه.
Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Kitab al-Fitan, the chapter of fitna. We will explain to you now, inshallah, what does fitan mean. But the verse in the Quran that speaks about end times, in English they also call this eschatology. They call it eschatology. Allah Ta'ala speaks also in the Quran about end times. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. حتى إذا فتحت يأجوج ومأجوج ومن كل حدب ينسلون until when إذا فتحت when يأجوج and مأجوج will be released وهم من كل حدب ينسلون and then they from every high place they will come down. So this is a verse in the Quran that speaks about one of the many happenings that will happen at the end of time. Most of the things that will happen at the end of time, it is proven from the Hadith. Here we've got a verse that speaks about it, but most of the things are proven from the Hadith. So now, we mentioned before to you about those people that deny the Hadith, they only accept the Quran. So they don't accept most of the things. Or rather, everything is proven from the Hadith. They don't accept Dajjal, they don't accept Isa alayhi salam coming again, the Mahdi, etc. Because of most of these things are proven from the Hadith. But here is one verse which speaks about what will happen. حتى إذا فتحت يأجوج ومأجوج ومن كل حدب ينسلون. If you look at al-fitan, Kitab al-fitani, fitan is a jama of fitnatun. Now normally we are acquainted with this word. When we have fitna, it means something in a negative sense, a trial, a tribulation, but there are in fact several meanings. Like I told you, trial, imtihan, tribulation. It could also refer to a sin, an act of disobedience. It could also mean ibtila, to be involved in something, azab, a punishment. Allah Ta'ala also says in the Quran, innama amwalukum wa awladukum fitna. Verily your children, your wealth is a fitna, is a test. It could also refer to sickness. Sickness is also a fitna, a test. Madness, misguidance. It could also refer to shirk. So from the context of the sentence, or from the context of the paragraph, you will understand what the word fitna referred to. So these are all the literal translations of the word fitna, but the most common understanding is this: that thing, that natural test that comes upon a human being. What fitna means? Yeah. A natural thing, not a man-made disaster, but a natural thing, something which is natural, right? And it afflicts a human being. And if you look at the difficulties that can affect a person also, there are many, but broadly they can be categorized into two types. The first is that test which comes naturally, so to say, from Allah Ta'ala, but we don't know what is the cause of it. We don't know what is the cause of it. The cause is hidden. The sabab is hidden, right? So this is all important because we're going to look at the different tests that will come at the, close to end time. Some of them have already come. Some ulama say they happen, some they haven't happened. So you need to understand this so that you can, internalize all the different fitan. Something which comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you don't know what the cause is. So here he says, even outwardly, you cannot identify why is this test coming? Why is this happening? Why are the Muslims being brutalized? Why are the Muslims just being bombed? They are being displaced. They're being genocided here, there, everywhere, and you don't know what the cause is, right? You only see the difficulty, but you don't see the cause. And the second one is where, to a certain extent, you can see the reason for it. Now, interesting here, this word will come. Remember this word? This word will appear in the Hadith as well. That test where you cannot see what is the cause of it is called fitnatun amya. Oh, and the words ayn mim ya, refers, but it comes from being blind, ama. وَمَنْ كَانَ فِي هَذِهِ الدُّنْيَا أَعْمَى فَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ أَعْمَى. So that natural calamity, disaster, it affects humankind, and you cannot recognize, you cannot pinpoint what is the cause of this, where is it coming from. It's called fitnatun amya'u. And also another attribute of this is what is haqq and what is batil. Who's upon the haqq, who's upon the batil. And here is another characteristic of the fitna. They say is where there is killing, shedding of blood, right? Not the qatil and not the maqtul. Both of them don't know why they're fighting and why they're killing. This person is killing, but he don't know why he's killing. The maqtul has been killed, he know why he's being killed. So that was fitnatun amya'un. I gave you the characteristics. And the second one, I told you, outwardly seem to be some cause, some type of reason why the fitna is taking place. We can, to a certain extent, we can identify what is the cause of this. Yeah, the author says it is very, very difficult to pinpoint, because remember this whole chapter we're going to do, it speaks about the different fitnas, the different trials that will afflict the ummah. So if something happened in the past that resembles the prediction of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, then obviously the ulama say that this is a manifestation of what Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam predicted, because it fits it like a glove. But what guarantee you do not have that in the future another event will occur, and that event might even resemble the prediction of the Nabi more than that. That's what I'm saying. So the ulama in the past, they could only speak about what they saw. They could speak about what they experienced, and they will say, no, this here is a prediction of what Nabi Sallallahu. This is a manifestation of the prediction of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But what we say is in the future, something might happen, and that may even resemble the prediction more than what happened in the past. So it's very, very difficult to say exactly, because that's why Nabi Sallam left it open, he left it ambiguous, etc. And as I said, there's no guarantee that's the end of the fitna. More fitna will come. It could be that several, even sometimes when you study the Quran, you study the Hadith, and you say, this is the Shanul Wurud, this is the reason why this verse was revealed, this is the reason why this Hadith, Nabi also made the statement here, then you find several reasons. So, same thing, one verse could have several reasons why it was revealed. Different circumstances. So same thing here, the fitna that Nabi spoke about, many of the time it could refer to several different instances or several different circumstances, things that will happen. So several things or several predictions that will happen from the time of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam till Qiyamah, all of them could be very well there, subject matter of the prediction of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when you see it and you love it through it, then you will recognize it and you will understand this is a prediction of what Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned. So Kitab al-Fitan, Jama al-Fitna, is a chapter of all the predictions of the tests, the trials, the tribulations that the Ummah will face as they come close to Qiyamah. So if you look at currently at the condition of the Muslims in the world, they are in a very, very precarious condition. From the time of the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, which was over 120 years ago, the Muslims were brutalized, they were battered, they had no Khalifa to stand upon, they had no one to support them, etc., etc. That's why the West has been the Western hegemonic forces has been plotting against them, usurping their land, dividing up their lands, putting them against each other, using divide and conquer, putting Muslim against Muslim, etc., etc. So when we see this, we have no option except to believe that this is now coming to the end times, the difficulties that the Muslims experience, etc. So on that point, I'll tell you, it refers to Kitab al-Fitan, the trials, the tribulations that the Ummah will face as they come closer to Qiyamah, the weak, helpless state that they will be in. But now, interesting point, James, if you go further through the Kitab, you'll see there are certain things here that I mentioned that are not relevant or not related to the trials and tribulations that this Ummah will face, right? Like, if you go further on, you see this Babul Manaqib, the virtue of Abu Bakr, the virtue of the Quraysh, etc., etc. So, and in fact, there's another bab on the Mu'jizat, the miracles of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, why has this been included under Kitab al-Fitan? Several answers here. One answer that they give here, perhaps that the Katib forgot to put the heading on there, or maybe when you got Babul Manaqib, etc., etc. Uh, although remember Kitab refers to a broader categorization, and under the word Kitab you get the smaller categorization with Abwab. So in that context, maybe although you won't find another Kitab, this is the last Kitab, and all the Abwab come underneath there, it could very well be that maybe those Abwab are independent from this Kitab, which is a separate, independent. You understand what I'm saying? But the main issue, you've got the categorization of day of Bab to separate between it. Okay, let's look at the first hadith, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. الفصل الأول عن حذيفة قال قام فينا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم مقاما ما ترك شيئا يكون في مقامه ذلك إلى قيام الساعة إلا حدث به حفظه من حفظه ونسيه من نسيه قد علمه أصحابي هؤلاء وإنه لا يكون منه الشيء قد نسيته فأراه فأذكره كما يذكر الرجل إذا غاب عنه ثم إذا رآه عرفه متفق عليه. Remember Hudayfa bin Yaman radiallahu ta'ala, he was that Sahabi that had kept all the secrets of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He knew the names of all the munafiqeen, etc. To such an extent, many a time, as Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu would go to as Hudayfa and ask him, is my name included in the list of the munafiqeen, etc. This was his tawadu, right? So he says here, قام فينا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Once Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم stood up and he addressed us, right? He addressed us, right? Normally say قام فينا, I told you this before. قام فينا means to stand up, and because normally when you give the khutbah you stand, right? قام فينا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم مقاما, at one place. ما ترك شيئا يكون في مقامه ذلك إلى قيام الساعة. So Nabi Sallallahu told us everything that will happen, all the trials, all the tribulations, all the negative things that will happen from now, from this point, from his point until Qiyamah. That's what it means. ما ترك شيئا يكون في مقامه. He did not leave anything in his place there, that place. إلى قيام الساعة, till Qiyamah day. إلا حدث به, except that he mentioned, he spoke about it, he narrated to us. حفظه من حفظه. So, yes, this is the fa'il here, right? This is the fa'il. إلا حفظه من حفظه. من حفظ the fa'il. Those who memorized it, they memorized well, they got istihzar, they got all of his mind. وَنَسِيَهُ مَنْ نَسِيَهُ. It was so much information that man nasiya, those who forgot it, they forgot it, right? It says, right? قَدْ عَلِمَهُ أَصْحَابِ هَؤُلَاءِ. And those companions of mine, they know it in detail. They remember everything properly in detail. What Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke about the trials and tribulation. وَإِنَّهُ لَا يَكُونُ مِنُ الشَّيْءِ قَدْ نَسِيتُمْ. Now he's speaking about himself. What he's saying here, many a times you've got some information, but you don't have istihzar. It's not in your mind. But when you see it, you recognize it. I remember this here. So this is what he's saying. That many of the signs that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke about, right? Remember, in the hadith, Nabi Sallallahu says, as Umar radiallahu ta'ala is a strong door between the fitan that will beset this ummah. I mentioned to you before that the difficulty started in the middle of the khilafat of Uthman radiallahu ta'ala. That's when the insurrection started, when they started rebelling as Uthman radiallahu ta'ala. That will all come in detail. When they objected to his rule, etc., they accused him of nepotism and all that type of thing. So yeah, what this Sahabi is saying is that it wasn't present in my mind, but when I saw it, this is what Nabi spoke about. This is what Nazim told us about, right? So sometimes something is in your subconscious mind. It is in your subconscious mind. It's not in your present mind, but when you experience it, you will remember it. That's what he's saying, right? وإنه لا يكون من الشيء وإن verily لا يكون منه الشيء. There are things from it قد نسيته, I forgot it, right? فأراه فأذكره. Then I will see it فأذكره, then I remember, this is what Nabi Sallallahu spoke about. This will happen, that will happen, right? كما يذكر الرجل إذا غاب عنه. Like how a person, he remembers something when it's absent from him. ثم إذا رآه عرفه. And then when he sees it, he recognizes it. Muttafaqun alayh, the same muttafaq alayh riwayat. Like, say, so maybe you forgot even a certain person exists. You don't know, but when you saw, remember this person here, I met him in such a place, I met him in such a place, or he was with me on a Hajj, or went with me on Umrah, or we went on a holiday together. Same thing what he's saying here, that maybe if you to ask me about the different fitan, I won't be able to mention all of it offhand, pat off here, because it is in my subconscious mind. But as I experienced it and as I seen it like that, I remembered it, and then I said it and I narrated it. Okay, read the next hadith. So the take home of this hadith here is that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned everything, all the difficulties, all the tests, all the fitan, all the trials that will affect this ummah. And the Sahaba many of the Sahaba mentioned, memorized it, and they narrated it, and they gave it to the Ummah. Some of them forgot to completely, like how from amongst us, some people who start teach you something, some people remember, some people forget. But the Huzaifa is saying that many things, it slipped my mind, but when I saw it happening, I recognized, this is what Nabi Sallallahu spoke about. Carry on. You don't I don't have على القلوب.
قولا قلب ربها بتدبيه مدة أي قلب أنكرها نفذت فيه مدة بيضاء كانت تصير على قبرين أبيض مثل الصفا فلا
مثل الصفا صفا. Huh? You got a tashdid on the fa? So, مثل الصفا.
فتنة ما دامت السماوات والأرض والآخر أسود بادا
مربادا
داهيا لا يعرف
مجزيا.
لا يعرف معروفا ولا ينكر منكرا إلا ما أشرب من هواه.
Okay. من هواه interesting حديث. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعنه also the authority of Zuzaifa. إذ قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. I heard Rasul saying تعرض الفتن على القلوب كالحسير عودا عودا. That the trials, the tribulation, it will present itself on the heart كالحسير, like a, I don't know if you ever seen a straw mat. You know, you have a straw mat, or it is Hajj mats. You have, it has different straws in it. So one straw after the next, one straw after the next. So they come in quick succession. So the idea here is to speak about quick succession, like how in a straw mat, one straw come after the next straw, and then one comes after in quick succession. So yeah, Nabi Sallallahu was saying that this fitan, it will come in quick succession, one after the other, right? When it happens, it will happen so quick, so fast, like how the straws in the mat, one comes after the next, and the next one comes, and the next one, right? So تعرض الفتن على القلوب كالحصير عودا عودا, straw by straw. فأي قلب أشرب به. أشرب يشرب, this is مجهول. So so it means to drink. That ashraba means to drink. Shariba yashrabu. But this is majhul. So what would mean? What would mean? فأي قلب أشرب بها. Whichever heart is affected by it. Whichever heart أسر بها. نكتت فيه نكتة سوداء. Then a black mark will be made on the heart. There's a hadith also that speaks about that the heart of a human being is clean. Every time he commits a sin, then a black heart comes on, a black mark comes on his heart until his heart is engulfed in blackness, in darkness, and then his heart becomes sealed, and then he does not accept any good. Every time a person makes tawbah, then the blackness is removed, right? So something similar here. So فأي قلب أشربها نكتت فيه نكتة سوداء, a black mark will come. Those people who are susceptible, those people who fall prey to this different fitna. The whole idea why Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us about this fitan is so that a person must abstain. He must save himself from this fitan. He must save himself from this fitan. So that's why he pointed out to us, to that person who is not careful, and that person that falls victim to it, it will have a negative impact on him. وأي قلب أنكرها نقطت فيه نقطة بيضاء. And whichever heart أنكرها means do not accept it. أنكر ينكر means أنكر is the opposite of receptive. In other words, you don't recognize something. So whichever heart, you can say rejects it, repels it, right? نكتت فيه نقطة بيضاء. Then it will be made on his heart نقطة بيضاء, a white spot, which is referred to nur, etc. حتى يسير على قلبين, until it will be on two half. People will be like in two groups, right? أبيض مثل الصفاء, white, like something that is clear, luminous, beautiful. فلا تضره فتنة ما دامت السماوات والأرض. So all these different test trials of Dajjal, Dajjal will try to mislead people, and he will have his music, and he will have his singing girls, and he will have his nudity and all that type of thing. So if a person is strong, he rejects the temptation of Dajjal and his system, or all of fitna in general. فَلَا تَضُرُّهُ فِتْنَةٌ, that fitna will not affect him. مَا دَامَتِ السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ, as long as the skies and the earth exist. In other words, until Qiyamah. وَالْآخَرُ أَسْوَدُ, and the other one is that because it became susceptible, it did not heed the warning, it became susceptible to the fitna, the trial, the fitan, the trial, right? Then, well, it's right. والآخر أسود, it will become black, right? Right? Become black and dark. كالكوزي مشخيا, like an upside down utensil, right? So in other words, when a utensil is open and the mouth is exposed, it is ready to accept any goodness that comes to it, right? But this year, it's like an upside down thing. It will not be receptive to good. لا يعرف معروفا. Same thing what we're saying. The more you commit the sin, the more your heart becomes black, black, black. It does not become receptive to good. So the more a person becomes victim to this the Jali system, to the Jal and his fitna, etc., etc., a person does not become receptive towards good. You sometimes, you wonder, you see in the paper, you see in the news, people doing funny things, stupid things. You wonder how can a person with a sane and logical mind do something like this? Like, you see people, the funny things, killing babies, killing children. I don't know, now recently in the news, it was in America, they are undercovered a synagogue, a Jewish place, and they have tunnels underneath. They discovered the bodies of dead children. So part of their rituals, this was the type of sect of the Jews, they used to consume the blood of the children they used to kill. Remember the Jews, they believe that any non-Jew is a Gentile, is a subhuman being. So if you like how like an animal, so you don't have to respect it. So it was in the news, it was in the paper. So what they would do is they would kill children and they would suck their blood. Choose us to drink their blood. But you think you just have your mind, how does a person with a sane mind, a logical mind, do something? Or now sometimes you read also, you get this devil worshippers, they worship shaitan. You say, now, everybody knows shaitan is an evil person. Everybody knows shaitan is going to take you to hell. So how can a person with even two brain cells in him, how can he worship shaitan when he knows shaitan is going to take him to hell? But here's your answer: that the heart becomes sealed. It starts at one point, and as you grow and grow, it becomes sealed, and it doesn't become receptive to any good. So he's saying, right? لا يعرف معروفا. He cannot recognize what is good. ولا ينكر منكرا. And it does not reject any bad thing. إلا ما أشرب من هواه, except that which it is أشرب من هواه, consumed from his desires. So your heart becomes completely sealed. Your heart becomes completely sealed. That even though maybe to a certain extent you can see this is the wrong thing, but you don't have the capacity, you don't have the ability to say, no, this, I'm not supposed to be doing this. And this is the answer why you wonder how people do those funny, funny things. And this is the idea. I was telling you, just looking at the hadith in brief, those hearts which accept, there's another hadith, man istashrafaha, man ashrafaha istashrafaha. We will do this hadith comes also, man ashrafa istashrafaha. The fitna will be of such a nature that if you peep towards it or you expose you, it will grab you and it will suck you in. So you need to minimize your exposure towards this. So same thing here, I'm saying this fitna, when people will expose themselves to it, it will grab them, it will suck them in, and it will make them part of the system. So as you, as a believer, as a person who believes in the akhirat, as a person who wants to save himself, you need to minimize his exposure to this whole the jari system. So those people who manage to save themselves, right, and those people who get sucked into it, there will be two distinct groups. Al Baini, one is those who have the pure hearts, the clean hearts. So this, like in Arabic, normally when you speak about something which is clear and it is pure, you speak about white marble. So there's also a mithlul safa could refer to the white marble, saf, shafaf, no blemish, nothing in it. Mirbadan with a kasra on the meme. Yeah, mirbad also referred to والآخر أسود black. Mirbadan is like the black coals, like black ash. Coals, I told you like a utensil, like upside down utensil. Here in the Shara they got here. You have mim, shim, noon, kha, mujnahiyan. That's mujnahiyan. Yeah, and upside down utensil, I told you. Yeah. So in other words, a heart it is not receptive to anything. As long as the mouth of the utensil is facing upwards, there's a hope that something can go in. If it rains or something beneficial can still go in. But when it's upside down, there's absolutely no hope. That's what I'm saying. Like how an upside down utensil, there's absolutely no hope that it will get any goodness in it. So same thing now, the heart becomes totally sealed. Like I was telling you, there's an answer. How these people can do all these faulty things. Their hearts are completely sealed. And yeah, it says this is actually an expression to express the lack of ability to differentiate between good and bad. The only thing that the heart wants is to run after its, to fulfill its desires, etc. So ولا يعرف معروفا, this is the explanation. Look there. ولا يعرف معروفا ولا ينكر منكرا. All of these are the sifat that the heart becomes like an upside down utensil. It does not recognize what is good, and it does not reject that which is bad. Okay, we'll stop there and we'll start yesterday. We done a bit less tafsir, so we'll stop there and start earlier with the tafsir, inshallah. With the same link, we'll do the tafsir, inshallah. So we must be doing, inshallah. When we stop as you the Arabic. Okay, read Bismillah. Read. Where we stopped exactly. Okay, so قال الرسول right. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We were discussing previously, we discussed the verse of those persons who deny the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and as a result of that, they will not, the doors of the heavens will not be open for them. Then we discussed the verse, yeah, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, those who believe and they do good, and in La Nukallifu, and Allah is saying that we not burden a soul beyond it. وَنَزَعْنَا مَا فِي صُدُورِهِمْ, will remove all the malice and the hatred from their hearts. So this is the quality of a Jannati way. If you can experience this in the dunya, then how great it is that not have malice, jealousy, jealousy, hatred, etc. in your heart. Then Allah spoke about the rivers that will flow beneath him. Then Allah said, people will praise Allah Ta'ala, وقال الحمد لله هدانا, who guided us, وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله, and we would not have been guided if it was not for the guidance of Allah Ta'ala. And this is لقد جاء رسل ربنا بالحق, that now we can say that the prophets that came to us, they came to us with the truth, because we can see now, we can see that having answered the message, it has brought us bliss, right? And it will be called out, and this will be now like the final call of glad tidings. Like how you're traveling somewhere, you're going with a plane, you have arrived at your destination after a long journey. It's made, okay, you've now arrived at your destination, you can now enjoy. So wanudu, it will be called out, until kumul jannah, that this is your jannah, uristumuha, that you have made to inherit it, as you have earned it. بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ, because of what you are doing, what you done, the effort you made, the sacrifices you made in this dunya. We'll carry on.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: خلق المسلمين النار فبصوا على فترة بين الجنة والناس، كانت بينهم حتى لهم بدخول الجنة.
Okay, stop. So this verse I'm telling you, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَنَزَعْنَا مَا فِي صُدُورِهِمْ مِنْ غِلٍّ, and we will remove from their hearts all the envy, malice, أي مِنْ جَسَدٍ مِنْ حَسَدٍ وَبُغْضٍ. Hasad means of the jealousy, وَبُغْضٍ, hatred. And this is supported by a hadith that comes كما جاء في صحيح البخاري, in Bukhari Sharif, عن أبي سعيد الخدري, on the authority of Abi Sa'id, said, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, Rasul said, إذا خلص المؤمنون من النار, when the believers are finally saved from the fire, حبسوا على قنطرة بين الجنة والنار, they will be made to wait on a bridge. So now it's been said to them, now you are free, you've been saved from Jahannam. So there's a bridge that they will have to cross, it will take them to Jannah, but they will be made to wait on this bridge, right? حبسوا على قنطرة بين الجنة والنار فاقتص لهم مظالم كان بينهم في الدنيا. Then if they committed any wrong in this world, right, at this point here, then I remember I told you حقوق and حقوق العباد. If you owe somebody something, you won't just get away. You won't get away without paying back. Allah Ta'ala can't forgive you, because yes, Allah Ta'ala can intercede on your behalf for that. I'll make this person happy because when he saw that you were, desirous of repaying your debt, whatever. But other than that, you have to make good with the person you wronged. If you abuse somebody, you stole somebody's money, no matter how much tawbah you make, that's not going to help you. You'll have to sort out with that person. So he's saying, فَاقْتَصَّ لَهُمْ مَظَالِمٌ كَانَ بَيْنَهُمْ فِي الدُّنْيا. And then the oppression that they done in the dunya, qisas will be taken for that. You'll have to pay for that. That is why it's so important. It's so important that you not play with the huquq al-ibad. You make sure that if you've abused, harmed, or stole somebody's money, that you fix it up. Right? Carry on.
حتى إذا هذبوا من القوم أذن لهم بدخول الجنة التي
Yeah, حتى إذا هذبوا ونقوا. Yes, now when they are cleansed and they purify from this, then
أذن لهم بدخول الجنة.
right now, أذن لهم في دخول الجنة. Now it will be permitted for them to enter into Jannah, right?
والذي الجنة منه بمسكنه كان في الدنيا.
Right. So أذن لهم في دخول الجنة. It will be permitted for them to enter Jannah. Then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, فوالذي نفسي بيده إن أحدهم بمنزلة في الجنة أدل منه بمسكنه كان في الدنيا. What does it mean? That you will recognize your abode in Jannah. You will know it better than you know your abode in this dunya. Subhanallah. That means Allah Ta'ala will make it as such, even though, you haven't seen the place in Jannah, you haven't been to it, but naturally you will recognize and you will go straight to your place. See there. إن أحد بمنزلة في الجنة أدل منه بمسكن كان في الدنيا. Right, Kiran?
قال إلى الجنة إذا سيروا إلى الجنة ووجدوا عند بابها شجرة.
Right. Saji says, in the people of Jannah, إذا سيقوا وسيق الذين كفروا إلى جهنم زمرا وسيق الذين اتقوا ربهم إلى الجنة زمرا. Right. When they will be driven, they will be ushered. إذا سيقوا إلى الجنة وجدوا عند بابها شجرة. They will find at the door of Jannah a tree. Right, carry on. Right. And then by the trunk of this tree, there will be ainani, two beautiful springs. Right. So it's interesting, as you enter Jannah, like how you have like this dunya also, when you go to you go to an expensive hotel, you go to a posh hotel, they have welcome drinks there for you. They say, welcome to the Talika family, and they give you nice drinks. Or sometimes, you go to the Ishtima. You go to the Ishtima, you come by the entrance of Ishtima, they got the Istiqbal tent. What they got? They got taste there, they got Zamzam there, they welcome you. So same thing here. This will be the welcome drinks in Jannah. Allah Ta'ala show us that, inshallah. So you see, so you're saying, when you come there, وَجَدُوا إِنْدَ بَابِهَا شَجَرَةٌ فِي أَصْلِ سَاقِهَا. Saq refer to normally the trunk of the tree, right? Ainani. There will be two, not eyes that you see. Ainani refer to two springs, right? Beautiful springs, right?
فشربوا من إحداهما فيلزأ من حل
Subhanallah. فَشَرِبُوا مِنْ إِحْدَامَا. So they will drink from one of it. And as a result, what will the effect of this beautiful drink be? It will be فَيُنْزَعُ مَا فِي صُدُورِ مِنْ غِلٍّ. It will be removed, it will be extracted. What is in the heart, min ghillin, from any envy, malice, hatred. فَوَالشَّهَابُ الطَّهُورِ. It is a tasty, pure, beautiful drink, right?
فجرت عليهم نظرة العين.
Right. واغتسلوا من الأخرى, and then from the one spring they will drink, and from the other spring they will wash, they will bathe. And فجرت عليهم نظرة النعيم. And as a result of that, the نظرة النعيم, this the fresh bounties of Jannat will flow upon him, right?
لم يشهدوا بعدها.
How you translate it? فلم يشعثوا. They will not feel hungry, they will never feel thirsty after the ever. Carry on.
قال علي رضي الله عنه إني لأرجو أن أكون أنا وعثمان وطلحة وزبير من الذين قال فيهم ونزعنا ما.
Yeah, remember I told you we're going to do now, inshallah, in Kitaab fitan, we're going to discuss this, the battles that took place between these senior Sahaba Ikram, and they were all, it was all premised upon haqq. Each one wanted to establish the haqq on the earth, but they had some differences. So as Ali says, Inni arju, I'm hoping that despite our differences in this dunya, despite the difficulty we experience, despite our differences, besides our battles, I'm hoping that when we drink from this well, inshallah, Allah Ta'ala through the barakah of this will remove all the differences. So you say, Inni arju an akuna ana, I hope that me, wa Uthman, وطلحة and Zubair من الذين قال الله تعالى, Allah Ta'ala will say with regards to them, ونزعنا ما في صدور من غل, and we have removed what is in the hearts from the envy and malice. Carry on.
عن أبي هريرة قال صلى الله عليه وسلم كل أهل الجنة يرى مقعده من النار.
Yeah. So روى النسائي وابن مردوية عن أبي هريرة. There's a riwayat in Nasai Sharif, and Ibn Mardaya also unites it. The Rasul said, and we also done a riwayat like this. There was one riwayat we done like this also in it's Mishkaat Sharif, that every Allah Ta'ala has got a fixed place for everybody in Jannat and Jahannam. So if you earn Jannat, then you take up your seat in Jannat. If you never earn Jannat, you failed, then you take up your seat in Jahannam, right? كل أهل الجنة, every inhabitant of Jannat, يرى مقعده من النار, you will see his place in the fire, right? Carry on. Right, you say, فيقول لولا أن الله هداني. If Allah Ta'ala never guided me, if Allah Ta'ala never blessed me with guidance, then that's what mean my abode. But because Allah Ta'ala guided me, that's what we say. That's when you say, وَقَالَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ الَّذِي هَدَانَا لِهَذَا. All praises due to Allah Ta'ala who guided us to this, and it was through His mercy, through His kasb, because He showed the initiation to do good. Allah Ta'ala guided him. Now he's taken up his abode in Jannah, and this is the dua he will make. This is the praise he will sing. وَمَا كُنَّا لِنَهْتَدِيَ لَوْلَا أَنْ هَدَانَا اللَّهُ. That we would not be guided if Allah Ta'ala did not guide us, right? Subhanallah, Allah Ta'ala says that. And every inhabitant of Jahannam, he will see his place. If I accepted Islam, if I believed, if I was a good person, then this would have been my place in Jannah, right?
لولا لو
So this is only I was guided by Allah Ta'ala. فيكون له حسرة أو فيكون له حسرة. There's an ism. It will be a regret for him. So sometimes, you somebody you want to torment him, like you say, all the people that done well, this is the gift they are getting. So the other people that never do well, they will feel also that we are not getting this year because we didn't do work hard, we didn't do well. So it's part of the punishment. It's part of the punishment. Allah Ta'ala save us. Carry on.
لما أولدوا من الجنة نودوا أن تلكم الجنة التي أورثتموها بما
Right. ولهذا لما أورثوا مقاعد أهل النار من الجنة نودوا أن تلكم الجنة أورثتموها بكم. For this reason, when they were inherit or when they will be given مقاعد أهل النار من الجنة, the seats of the people of the fire from the Jannah. In other words, those people that are in Jahannam, when their seats will be given up to the people of Jannah, right? It will be called أن تلك الجنة التي أورثتموها بما كنتم تعملون. That this is the Jannah, the one أورثتموها, you've been made to inherit it. In other words, inherit means you get somebody else's thing. So those people who, if they had been good, they would have get that place in Jannah. Because they were not good, they're in Jannah. So the rest of the Jannatis will get that. So you have inherited it, you have earned it, now it will come in your position, بما كنتم تعملون, because of what you are doing, right? Right. بسبب أعمالكم, because of your actions, نالتكم الرحمة, that the mercy of Allah Ta'ala descended upon you. And as a result of that, فَدَخَلْتُمُ الْجَنَّةَ, you earned Jannat, you entered Jannat. بحسبي, and وتبوأتم, and you constructed your houses, right? بحسب أعمالكم, in relation to your a'mal. In other words, if your a'mal was abundant, then you will have an abundance of reward. If your amal was lesser, that's why there's a hadith, it says also something like this: Al Jannatu qi'anun. The Jannat is a barren land. That is with regards to you. Obviously, Jannat is beautiful. Jannat is ma la aynun ra'at wa la udhunun sami'at wa la khatara ala qalbi bashar. But in your individual capacity, your Jannat is not built as yet. And the hadith was Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah is planting a tree. Allahu Akbar, doing good deeds. That's why also another hadith, Ad-dunya mazra'atul akhirah. The dunya is the farm of the akhirat. Like how, you plant in the farmer, you plant, you work the lands, you plow the lands, you put in the fertilizer, you plant the seeds, and then you give it water, then the rain comes, and then you hope it to grow, same thing. You do the good deeds, you have sincerity, and then you hope that Allah Ta'ala must accept it from it. So that's what I'm saying there. Because you have to build your Jannat, see that? And your Jannat will be in relation to your good deeds. وَتَبَوَّعْتُمْ مَنَازِلَكُمْ بِحَسْبِ أَعْمَالِكُمْ. You have constructed, you have beautified, you have built your houses in Jannat بِحَسْبِ أَعْمَالِكُمْ, in relation to your a'mal, right?
كما وجب على هذا لما ثبت عنه وسلم واعلموا أن له عمل قالوا ولا أنت قال ولا أنا إلا إن ضربتني الله.
Yeah. So what he's saying this here is something which we discussed already, that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who actually enters you into Jannah. It is not your a'mal. Remember we told you this here, that even if you are the most pious person, Allah ta'ala can still put you into Jannah. And even if you are the most evil person, Allah Ta'ala can still put you into Jannah. But this a'mal is just an outer cause, but it's actually Allah Ta'ala. So that's why he's saying, that's why we say here, that's why we say, بِسَبَبِ أَعْمَالِكُمْ, that through your deeds, Allah enters you into Jannah. Through your deeds. Because it is not your deeds that take you to Jannah, but Allah Ta'ala takes you. See there, it was a proof. وَإِنَّمَا وَجَبَ الْحَمْلُ عَلَى هَذَا. The only reason why we have to take it to say that it is Allah Ta'ala that put you into Jannah because of your deeds, not that your deeds put you directly to Jannah, right? Are you following why? Because لِمَا ثَبَتَ فِي الصَّحِيحَيْنِ. So this is what this explanation I'm giving you. It is Allah Ta'ala who decides. Allah Ta'ala makes the ultimate decision who will go into Jannah, who will to go to Jannah, not your amal. Your amal is only a sign of where you are going. Your amal is a. Why we have to say like this? Because Nabi Sallallahu said, أَنَّ أَحَدَكُمْ, any one of you, لَا يُدْخِلَهُ عَمَلُهُ الْجَنَّةِ. His actions don't take him to Jannah. It is Allah Ta'ala that takes him to Jannah, right? قالوا ولا أنت يا رسول الله, and not even you, O Rasulullah. He said, ولا أنا, even me, my actions won't take me. Allah Ta'ala will take me. إلا أن يتغمدني الله برحمة منه وفضل, except that Allah Ta'ala covers me. He submerses me in His mercy. برحمة منه وفضل. So that is the actual thing that will take you to Jannah. So we have to say, we are forced to say that it is not your actions, because the clear hadith has said it, but your actions is a reflection of what Allah Ta'ala wants to do with you. You understood that? That we say, لَوْلَا أَنْ هَدَانَ اللَّهِ, it is from Allah Ta'ala. You understood that? Okay, so that brings us at the end of the verse. Let's read the next verse, inshallah. There's still a few minutes left. Maybe you can just do the translation of the next verse. Then tomorrow we'll do the explanation. Read it to it. Bismillah.
نادى أصحاب الجنة أصحاب النار قد وجدنا ما وعدنا ربنا حقا فهل وجدتم ما وعدنا ربكم حقا قالوا نعم
Right. So I was telling you, so now when the people of Jannah, they come into Jannah and they experience the bliss, they say now, what our Rabb has promised us, we see it in front of our eyes, that if we are good, then Allah Ta'ala will enter us into Jannah through His mercy and through the amal we done. So, وَنَادَى أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ, to the people of Jannah, they will call out أَصْحَابَ النَّارِ, to the people of the fire, أَنْ قَدْ وَجَدْنَا مَا وَعَدَنَا رَبُّنَا حَقًّا, that verily we have found, وَجَدْنَا مَا وَعَدَنَا رَبُّنَا, this is Jumla Fi'liya, مع موصولة, which becomes the مفعول, what, because the maf'ul of wajadna, we found that which our Rabb had promised us, haqqan, to be truth. That is, He promised us if we good, He's going to give us Jannah, right? He's going to give us, He's going to give us Jannah. Ultimately, it's Allah Ta'ala who decides, right? فَهَلْ وَجَدْتُمْ مَا وَعَدَ رَبُّكُمْ حَقًّا, did you find what your Rabb promised you be true? That was it, if you just believe in Him, if you're not good to good deeds, that you're going to go to the fire of Jannah. Did you also find Him to be true? Like how you say, you get your report at the end of the year and you worked hard, and you got good results. So you tell the others, you see, our teacher promised us that if we learn this and we do our work hard, we're going to do well. And I done exactly as the teacher told. You know, I learned the sections and I worked hard, and now I can see the results. I can find what the teacher promised me, the truth. You failed, for example? Did you find that the teacher said if you don't work hard, if you don't study, if you stay absent, you're going to fail? Did you find him to be truthful also, that you failed, like if you don't study? So they said, قالوا نعم, right? They will say yes. فأذن مؤذن, then a caller will call out, اللعنة الله على الظالمين. Today let the curse of Allah Ta'ala, may the curse be upon the oppressors, الذين يصدون عن سبيل الله, those that were stopping from the path of Allah Ta'ala, ويبغونها عوجا, and they were seeking crookedness, وبالآخرة كافرون, and they denied the akhirat, they denied it, a place like akhirat. Right, okay, we'll do the explanation, the Arabic of that tomorrow. We'll stop there, so they really got a translation. We'll just do the Arabic explanation tomorrow. Let's stop there. Bas subhanallahi wa bihamdihi subhanakallah.